Hey, welcome. It's the Friday edition of the Nerdy Cool Dad podcast, and today is May 22nd. Yeah, I got it right this time, and it's episode 38, so I did my homework ahead of time. I know what episode I'm running, and we're good to go. So I have a fun show in store for you today. I'm not going to talk politics again. I'm just kind of sick of it. So, and I really have nothing else to say. I mean, we talked about the second wave of coronavirus, and I don't know. Doesn't seem like there's enough information to really make that call at this point. So, gonna talk about other cool stuff. So, we all know I've expressed that I'm a fan of the Joe Rogan podcast. And yeah, it looks like he signed up with Spotify, which is pretty fucking awesome. He could potentially earn about $100 million. I'm sure there's a lot of ad revenue and different things thrown in there, so it's not just like, here's $100 million to keep doing your thing. But either way, it's still pretty cool. And so it looks like on September 1st, he's going to start having his episodes there. They'll still kind of be on YouTube and Spotify at the same time. They'll have video versions too, which is actually a really good idea because sometimes I like to watch the videos, other times I could care less. I just want to hear what's going on in the background. And you don't really have that with YouTube, especially if you're driving around or whatever and you want to listen. You don't want to have your phone going all the time, taking up battery or just like wasting energy in general. So it's much more efficient to have the ability to just do an audio version. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I really think that's cool. And as of the end of the year, it'll be exclusively on Spotify. And they'll still have some clips and stuff like that on YouTube, but yeah, good for him. It's awesome. Great for Spotify. I love to see growing tech companies like them. And, I've been a Spotify premium user for years, and I love it. So, I mean, I don't utilize it as much as I used to. Like, how do I say that? I use my music all the time, but my premium membership was more so when I was commuting into the city every day, which I don't do anymore. So it was really, pay the $10 a month because I'll probably save on data and things of that nature, and I don't want to listen to commercials. But I don't know. I'm still probably going to buy the premium membership or keep buying or keep paying for the premium membership on a monthly basis. But yeah, we'll see what the future brings. Either way, what I wanted to focus on today was, digging into different habits and things that you're doing differently during COVID. I mean, this whole experience has really changed a lot of us. Some of us have had shitty experiences, stuck at home with 3 kids or any number of kids, and you're trying to get work done and you don't have the ability to really focus, and you might be feeling bad about neglecting your kids or anything like that. It's no one should be judging anyone during this crisis, and but at the same time, there's some cool things that I personally have started doing, or things that are just different in general. So to give you an example, I've got a whole list here that I'm going to go over. So first off, I started using older technology. Now, I've talked about this a few times. Like, I got my Wii U that I haven't used in years. My iPad 2. It was sitting in my garage all winter long. I haven't used that in probably 2 years as well. But I've been playing Plants vs. Zombies 2 on it, and it's pretty awesome. One weird thing about that, just to kind of go off on a weird tangent, I noticed that I paid for that game. I swear I paid for that game back in like 2000 and I want to say like 2015, something like that. And now it's free to play. So what happened with the money I paid for it? That's just me throwing that out there. I'm confused by it. Now there's all these new levels and things I wasn't aware of, and I'm getting served ads. So I'm kind of just overall curious what my initial investment got me, because now it's free. So I don't know. Anyone got any tips on how to deal with EA? I don't know. I'm probably not going to bother. It's not worth my time. Anyways, yeah, and also I've been using my Steam account. A lot of people, Steam's not I mean, it's old in the sense that it's been a marketplace for a long time, but I haven't really utilized it in a while. And I'm really only utilizing it right now to play like Jackbox and things of that nature. So I'm not even really utilizing it that much, but it's better than not using it at all. There's plenty of other games I could be playing via Steam, and I have some cool games that I bought years ago that I just never really had another go at. However, it's I don't know. PC gaming is one of those things that I find it's such a time investment, regardless of what you're playing. You gotta put the headphones on and be in the zone. Whereas if I'm playing a tablet game or I'm playing my Switch, I have the ability to kind of be present in the room. I can pause it whenever I want, and it's not as much of a time investment in general. So it's interesting either way, but it's nice to use things I haven't used in a while. Outside of that, I started rewatching Community. If you've never watched Community, you are missing out. It is a fantastic show. I think this is actually my third time watching it all the way through, and I'm still howling at all these hilarious moments in the show, and like you know they're coming. You remember the concept, but you don't remember every line when you've only watched a couple times, right? So I'm really enjoying that. If you're looking for a comedy to pick up and you've never seen it, I highly, highly, highly recommend watching Community. If you're just looking for something in the background or something to kind of just chill out to, also a good choice. So, and on top of that, I picked up another show that I'm watching on Netflix, and I actually can't remember if I brought this up in previous episodes, but I'm watching Shameless now, and a lot of you are probably like, "What the hell, John? Like, of all people, you should have watched Shameless years ago." I have no excuses. I'm not gonna make anything up. I literally just, I don't know, didn't watch it for whatever reason. But it's fucking hilarious. I love it. William H. Macy is so funny in the show. And you know what? Now that I'm talking about it, I'm pretty sure I brought this up the other day. So I won't linger too much on it. But it's hilarious. Outside of like what I'm watching, that sort of stuff, I'm building a stock portfolio. I've been so confused by the stock market. I'm starting to understand it a little bit more, but this has got to be something, personally, I should have known more about this sort of stuff years ago, and really it's on me. Probably because I didn't have the money to invest, so what was the point of even finding out about what I could do? And I've never worked for a larger company that gave me stock options or anything of that nature, so really it's up to me to kind of learn myself. I've been getting advice from my brother, who's a financial planner, and I've been talking to different friends and family about it. But it's nice to know. I'm starting to figure it out. I've got a couple little, just little investments here and there, but in hopes to build a bigger portfolio and see how things go. So it's exciting either way. Outside of that, I am drinking hard alcohol. Lots of people drink hard alcohol, but I'm mainly like a beer and red wine kind of guy. And if I'm at a party or something, I'll do a couple shots and things like that. But my wife and I have been drinking cocktails. We've got this liquor cabinet that is filled with liquor, and it's filled with liquor because we don't drink it. And every time we have we're pretty hospitable people. We like to have parties and things like that. And whenever you have parties, people tend to leave their alcohol, and it's just sort of accumulated over the years. I've got bottles that we got for our engagement party. We're talking like almost a decade ago. So. Not that I'm going to jump at drinking some absinthe by any means, but, it's there in the bar if you ever come over and you want to have a sippy poo of that. So, outside of that, I'm drinking, I like gin. Gin's probably my hard alcohol of choice. If I'm just doing shots and things like that, then I'll gravitate to some whiskey. But, it's just, I don't know, interesting to broaden my horizons, right? So, I'm enjoying it. Not that I'm an alcoholic by any means, but I've been drinking a lot of red wine, especially over the winter. That's kind of like my go-to drink. I'm not really big on beer in the winter. I don't know. I just don't. I associate beer with good times, being outside, warm weather, that sort of thing. And vice versa. I don't drink much red wine in the in the summer months. So, you gotta switch it up and makes things interesting, right? But yeah, outside of that, I've got like all these other things I've been doing. I've been fixing appliances, like shit I don't even know anything about. I'm going on YouTube, finding tutorials and whatever I can do to figure out how to do things myself because, well, I don't want to pay money to get a repair person, and I don't want to have a repair person in my house right now, and they wouldn't even be allowed to come in people's houses right now based on their contracts, so, and COVID, obviously. So, I've been diagnosing issues with my dryer, so I had to take it apart. I don't know anything about this shit. I took the dryer apart. I looked at some of the bearings. I thought it was one of them. I greased it up a bit. I'm still making a bunch of noise. It's on the rollers, and now I know it's the back rollers. So this weekend I have to take it apart again and take the drum out and do way more work. I've ordered some new rollers from Amazon, and so I'm gonna have to install that and do my thing. So that'll be fun. That's going to take me a couple hours probably to do, and a lot of swearing. And the problem is the dryers they make these days have all these little plastic clips that don't come off easily, and I don't even know how to get them off, so I'm constantly breaking them and trying to not to break other things. So it is what it is, right? But outside of that, I had to replace our dishwasher. It was just something that we inherited with our house, and the rack was rusting out. There was a couple pegs missing that were all rusted out. It started leaking the other day, and that was kind of the final straw. I could have probably used it a bit longer, but who knows? Like, I don't really want to get in a situation where it just like starts leaking all over the place on a regular basis, and whatever. It is what it is. I bought a new one. Got it from Patty's Market, a local supplier in Bowmanville. So I was happy to do that. Their service was fantastic. The guy showed up next day. Took it off the truck, got rid of the old unit, put it on the truck, he cut all the cardboard off, got all the waste out of the way. Noticed that I left one of my hoses on the old one, and took that off for me, or else I would have been kind of screwed trying to install this one. So really appreciative of his help and everything he did, and I highly recommend going to Patty's Market if you're out in the Durham area in Southern Ontario. So, and if you're not, maybe just keep looking local if you need to buy appliances and any sort of goods. It's good for the economy, right? Let's do it. Outside of that, I think I've mentioned a bunch of times, I'm drinking tea. I don't drink coffee anymore. I mean, I talked to my wife this morning about it, and I think on the weekend I might have like a cappuccino or something that I actually spend some time making, and it's a well-deserved treat, if you will. And so maybe that's kind of how I'll go about doing it. I just find that drinking coffee, all it is a bunch of highs and lows. It doesn't really do it for me. But after a couple of days of not drinking coffee and getting into tea, now I know there's caffeine in tea as well, but I don't get those crashes throughout the day anymore. And that's a big deal to me, because I was drinking 3-4 coffees a day, and I bet you most of you are doing the same thing. So as soon as I switched to, I'm drinking orange pico tea for the most part. As soon as I made that switch, I couldn't recommend it highly enough to anyone who's in a situation where literally every 2 hours you think you're gonna fall asleep at your desk. Give it a try. If it doesn't work, you can curse my name, call me an asshole. But if it does work, then you can praise me and share and like my podcast and my content with your friends and family, right? So just a shameless little plug there. But I highly recommend it. Outside of that, last thing I've been doing a lot of is working out. And I mean, I had a couple injuries that I'm still having back issues and shoulder issues and stuff like that. So the second I can go see a massage therapist, I am doing that. My workout regimen's working quite well for me. I've been sort of adjusting it and tweaking it. I know I was wanting to share it with everyone, but I don't think it's quite there yet to share. I really enjoy it. I'm trying to engage muscles that are starting to bother me. So like my lower back, for example, I've added a couple of lower back workouts to my regimen. And ever since I did that, and I've been stretching every night, but you don't realize that obviously you need to work out those muscles too, even though they're sore. That's kind of part of healing. Also, I looked at myself in the mirror the other day and noticed my love handles are getting kind of out of control, which, me being self-conscious, of course. The only way I'm going to get rid of those is doing more lower back workouts. I'm already doing kind of like the dips side to side, but you don't look at your own back enough, right? So couldn't help but notice. So I'm going to make it a priority. Actually, that's one thing that Arnold Schwarzenegger, his advice in, have you ever seen Pumping Iron? I've watched it a time or two, let me tell you. And one thing he always would go on about is, like, you look at yourself in the mirror and you figure out, all right, what's proportionate, what do you need to work on to make yourself feel more confident or to gain more symmetry with your body, and then you focus on increasing workouts for those body parts. Seems kind of obvious, but I don't think enough of us do that sort of analysis with our own bodies. So something I'm starting to do now, and I'll let you know the results. So far so good. I'm in less pain every morning, so that's a positive. Now if only I could figure out my shoulder, that'd be another story altogether, but another time. So, weekend plans. It's Friday. It's fucking gorgeous outside. This weekend's supposed to be amazing, so I'm really looking forward to it. And today, I'm going to kind of take it easy. I mean, every Friday I say I'm going to take it easy, and then all of a sudden people are like sending me Snapchats of them challenging me to do shots and stuff, and before you know it, I'm like, okay, let's see where this evening goes, right? I plan to take it easy. For dinner tonight, I'm actually going to make a veggie burger. So I've never made a veggie burger. I've kind of been on the sidelines. We got all this Beyond Meat stuff going on and all these other different types. And I've been trying to figure out what I need to be able to bind a burger properly, to give it the proper flavor, and to add a bit of grease to it and the coloration, all that. So I think I've got it down. I actually owe a lot of this to, I've been making a lot of like sweet potato patties and stuff like that, which I posted on my Instagram a couple weeks ago, I think. You'd be surprised if you take any sort of starch root, so like potatoes, sweet potatoes. I'm going to use beets today. You grate it all up and you squeeze out all the excess water and add some flour and some other ingredients to it. It binds insanely. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm really confident, and I've got this other stuff that's called textured vegetable protein. It's like these little pellets. They're like dehydrated ground beef. You add water, or I'm gonna make like a stock or something like that. You add it to it like a 1-to-1 ratio, and then it puffs up and absorbs all that liquid. So I'm gonna add that with the beets and some other veggies and some flour, and I think it's gonna be really, really good. So I'm excited to share that with you. It's not something I've made before, so if I screw up, at least you guys get to see my screw up too. But even if I screw up, I know it'll taste good. It just might not be the texture I'm looking for. So stay tuned on that. I'll post that this evening on Instagram. And outside of that, I've got a shitload of yard work and chores and shit to do this weekend. So I've got my brother's power washer, so I got to power wash the deck, which I've never. I bought my house September last year, so I've yet to wash the deck. It's kind of gross looking, so it's going to be a whole new deck, and I'm pretty excited for that. And I've got some... My house used to be a duplex, so I've got these old, shitty-looking slabs of, like patio... what the heck? I can't think today. I don't know. It's Friday. Patio slabs, we'll call them. That's not the right word. On the side of the house, because there was a separate entrance that goes to the back. So I gotta get rid of these old things, and then I'm gonna put a big garden box in the front because I get the most sun in the front. So I got some challenges there. I've got a shitload of tomatoes and beans and things growing in my like in pots right now that need to get into the ground. So I got to do that, and this will give me the ability to have a bit more room, get a little veggie garden going. Otherwise, I'm just gonna put grass down, and that doesn't really serve me much of a purpose. So I'm excited for this. I didn't think, like, my house, I have a lot of old trees in the backyard and in the neighborhood. It's an old neighborhood. My house is over 100 years old. So it's a lot of shade in the backyard, so I don't really have a lot of gardening options. And the previous people that own the house have a lot of like perennials, so everything's growing already. I don't have to do anything, but it doesn't really give me the ability to garden myself. Also, I'm looking at installing or like building like a two-tiered sort of planting system in my backyard that goes on my deck, because there's a couple areas that get some good sun, but definitely not enough. So that's something I'm excited to do as well. And yeah, full of projects. I got to finish the basement door install last weekend. Hopefully my Home Depot order comes because I need some shims to fix it. And you know, full of fun. Last thing I got to do is I got to get some shorts. I haven't bought shorts in a number of years. I don't even know how I got through last summer, to be perfectly honest. But I'm wearing track pants pretty much every day, and now I need to find the track pant of shorts. No, I don't want cotton shorts, but I need something that is my go-to everyday shorts, has some pockets, isn't too baggy, doesn't go to my knees because I'm not in my 20s anymore, and I dress like a middle-aged dad. So I like to show a little thigh, if you catch my drift. But yeah, I know resale stores are open now that have outdoor entrances, so maybe I'll go to a Winners or a Marshalls or something like that, check it out, and go from there. But that's the show. I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. I'm not going to tell people to stay the fuck home anymore because I think we've gotten to the point where we get it. So I'm cutting that out of the show now. If you choose to stay home, then stay home. I'm not telling you to do anything crazy or go to a party or anything like that. Not that you need to listen to me anyways. But be responsible, do your own thing. Stay fit and have fun.